Hello everybody, welcome back to SIC Auto Club. This is our episode 2 of how to start track driving safely. Today our topic is how to choose the best first car to start driving on track. If you haven't subscribed to this channel is all about track car, track driving, track mods, car related videos, car vlogs, all about that. So without further saying, let's get into it. So before we get into how to choose a better car to start driving on track, how to buy one on the market right now, I want to talk to those of you who does not have the extra budget to buy a separate car for track driving alone. It's totally fine to start with what you already have. Either it's SUV, it's a Honda Accord, it's Toyota Camry. It's totally fine for your first day because you are not pushing to the limit for sure. So it's actually very good to start with what you already have as long as you get permission from your family or from the track that you can take the car onto the track. Why? So I think when you start with something you are already familiar with, then you have one less factor you need to worry about. There are a lot of stuff you need to learn on the track. You need to learn the track, you need to learn the racing line, you need to learn what the instructor is saying, the braking, the acceleration. So you need to focus on a lot of stuff at the same time on first day or first couple events. So it's very busy. If you're already familiar with the car, then you have one less factor to worry about. So that's very good, very helpful for your first day. If you don't want to risk damage your car on the racetrack, which happens quite often, so you have the only one car to commute to work and back home, and you don't want to damage that car on the track, that's totally understandable. So if you want to buy a car as a beginner to start drive on track, to start practice driving, there are 4 variables that I recommend you to pay attention to when you are choosing a better car to start track driving. First one is lightweight, second one is cheap to buy, third one is cheap to run, and last one is easy or cheap to insure. Why these 4 points matter, I will explain why I buy one. So first one, lightweight. Lightweight has a lot of benefits and is a very, very important point in motorsport. So lightweight means you need to fight with the car less. It's less stressful, it's less overwhelming, it's less handful when you are taking corners, when you are braking. So on the track for beginners, the less drama you have is better for you to start with. So the second point is cheap to buy, which means the initial car purchase price. This one is important, but not as important as you might think. So a lot of people, a lot of beginners I met before, they focus on initial purchase price way too much. So it's important, but not all. So if you have a 50 grand budget, I will recommend you to put 30 to 35 at the most 40 grand on the car itself and save 10 to 15 grand for future costs. I will explain why in next point. So next one is cheap to run, which means running cost. So running cost is including tires, brake pads, brake rotors, oil change, fuel, track day tickets, all those stuff is running cost. So you need to drive on track, then you need to pay this running cost to maintain your car. So a running cost for a lightweight car is way less than the heavier car because the heavier car go through brake rotors, go through tires, go through fuel, even oil way faster than lightweight cars because it needs a bigger engine to push the car forward, it needs bigger brakes, it needs bigger tires to hold the car in the corner. So everything you go through will be faster than a lightweight car. So running cost is, I think, a bigger factor in motorsports than initial purchase price. That's why some race car is relatively cheap, like 200 grand is still expensive, but relatively cheap to buy, but more expensive to run than supercars. So the last one is the car needs to be easy to insure, also cheap to insure. So if you have a, let's say, 35 grand budget for a car and save 15 for the running cost, then 35 grand right now on the market, you can buy a pre-owned BMW M car, M3, M4, older generation, or you can buy a brand new GR86 or Miata. So you will find that the insurance price for the track day for your vehicle, which is not covered in your daily driving insurance, you need to buy separate track day insurance for the car, is usually purchased for the exact date you're going to track. So the BMW insurance, I think it's double the price of the Miata, or at least 1/3 more expensive. It depends on different carrier you use, but for sure it will be more expensive than Japanese brand. So that's also a point that you need to consider. If you want to buy insurance, which I recommend you to do so, especially when you're a beginner, you do not know what you're doing for most of the time, you're still learning, so you need to give yourself a little bit of room to make mistakes. So insurance is highly recommended. Then the cost of insurance is also recommended to consider when you are organizing your budget. So if you have a 35 grand car, you have a 15 grand for running cost, then you can divide the 15 grand into different parts, tickets, also fuel, and other maybe hotel to track. So that's what I will recommend you to choose from. Also, let's talk about different cars to choose from. There are a lot of cars on the market right now that's satisfying the points I said before. There are front engine car, mid engine car, and rear engine car. Also, there are front wheel drive, all wheel drive, and rear wheel drive. So combine these two, we have a lot of combinations to choose from. So let's talk about a mid engine and rear engine first. So rear engine car, the only one I can think of is the Porsche 911 right now. So the Porsche, we know is expensive. So if you are choosing a new car, you need to be relatively rich. If you are choosing an older car, then you need to spend time and energy to keep it in a good shape. Especially if you want to take it to the track, then you need to work on it a lot more. So I would not recommend to a beginner. The mid-engine car is relatively expensive as well. Besides the supercar, you have a 718 Porsche, you have a Lotus Emira, you have a Lotus previous generation's car, but also the mid-engine car is relatively expensive. You have a cheaper one like a Toyota MRS, but that's older car, you need to spend more time. Also, the mid-engine platform is a very good platform for track driving. All experienced drivers or online, they talk about mid-engine cars is best platform. I would recommend it for somewhat experienced driver, not beginners. So the only one left is the front engine car. So engine in the front is the most common option or most common displacement that we see on the street. So front engine, we have a front engine front wheel drive, front engine all wheel drive, and a front engine rear wheel drive. So how do we choose from those different types? Usually front engine front wheel drive is cheaper. It's designed for saving space, or it's designed for cheaper to produce. But if you want to choose a performance car or track car, then front wheel drive, front engine. There are a few options like a Honda Civic Type R, which is more expensive than they should be right now. So in this case, I will recommend cars like older BMWs if you are okay with working on the cars, or if you want to buy newer cars, you can go with Mazda Miata or Toyota GR86 or Super BRZ version. So they are lightweight cars. They are cheaper to buy, they are cheaper to run, they have a low running cost because they're lightweight. Also, they are easier to insure. They are rear-wheel drive, they can teach you a lot of driving techniques. They tend not to have a lot of crazy horsepower, so you need to learn how to drive the car fast without relying on power. Then later on, when you have power, or when you have a more budget to buy a better car, more powerful car, you can drive faster, like more naturally. Cool, that's our today's topic, how to choose the best first car to start track driving. That's just my opinion. If you have other opinions or other recommendations, welcome to leave comments below. I'm happy to talk to you guys about all different cars. Cool, we'll see you in next episode, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe and leave a thumb up. Thank you so much. We'll see you next one.